I read about a man who served 23 years in a maximum security prison. By the time he got out, he was stronger than 95% of men who train at gyms. He had no weights, no machines, no coach. He had a 6x8 cell and his own body weight. 5 movements made up almost his entire training program, and these are the 5. They're the same 5 movements that men who travel constantly, men who can't afford a gym, and men who simply have no time and no equipment should be doing too. Because the more I studied what he did, the more I realized something. The men who get strong in prison aren't doing it despite the constraints. They're doing it because of them. The lack of equipment forced them to discover something most people in commercial gyms have completely forgotten. That you don't need load to build strength, you need leverage. Here are the 5 movements, done daily, no equipment, no gym, no excuses. The first is the Hindu push-up. This isn't a regular push-up, it's something different, and once you do it, you'll never go back to the standard version. The Hindu push-up is a dynamic flow that builds chest, shoulders, triceps, lower back, and hip mobility, all in one movement. The Indian wrestlers were doing this for 2,000 years before the prison system rediscovered it. They called it the dand. In a cell with nothing else available, it's the closest thing you can get to a complete upper body workout. Here's how you do it. Start in a wide downward dog position. Feet wider than shoulder width apart. Hands wider than shoulders. Hips piked high in the air. Head looking back at your feet. Now in one continuous motion, sweep your chest forward and downward, like you're diving under a fence. Your hips drop, your chest comes up, and you finish in a cobra position. Hips low, chest tall, arms straight, looking up at the ceiling. Then push back through the same arc to the start. That's 1 rep. 5 to 10 reps the first time. The mistakes are about the rhythm. People rush it and they turn it into a sloppy half push-up. Slow it down, feel the chest sweep through the bottom. Feel the spine articulate as you come up into the cobra. Each rep should take about 4 seconds. The whole movement is supposed to feel like one continuous wave, not 2 separate motions. The other mistake is forcing depth before you're ready. The first time you try this, your hips might not be flexible enough to drop all the way down without lifting your hands off the floor. That's fine. Stay where your hands and feet are planted. Over weeks, the depth comes on its own. What this movement builds that no other push-up does is the connection between your shoulders, your spine, and your hips. Your whole upper body has to work together to move smoothly through the wave. After 100 of these in a row, which is what prisoners do over the course of a day, your shoulders open up, your back loosens, and your hips stop locking up the way they do from sitting all day. It's strength training and mobility work in the same exercise. The second movement is the pike push-up. This is what you do when you can't put a barbell over your head. It's how you build shoulder strength using nothing but a piece of furniture and your own body weight. Here's how. Find a bench, a chair, a couch, or a sturdy bed frame. Put both feet up on it, behind you. Walk your hands back toward the elevated surface until your body is in a sharp pike position. Hips high, body in an upside-down V. Your head should be hanging down between your arms. Now bend your elbows and lower the top of your head toward the floor between your hands. Then press back up to the top. 5 reps the first time. Build to 10. The mistakes are mostly about the angle. People keep their hips low, which turns it into a regular push-up. The whole point is the inversion. The steeper the angle, the more your shoulders take over from your chest. If you can't get a sharp pike, lower your feet to a smaller object until you can. As your shoulders get stronger, you progress to higher elevations. The other mistake is locking out the elbows or rushing through the rep. Slow eccentric, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds back up. Control through every inch. What this movement does is build the kind of overhead strength that gym goers spend years chasing with shoulder presses and military presses. The pike push-up uses your own body weight to the same effect in a fraction of the space. After 3 months of this, you'll be able to hold your arms overhead without that achy, weak feeling that comes from years of forward rolled shoulders. The third movement is the one almost nobody outside of prison does, and it's the one that fixes more upper back and posture problems than any other bodyweight exercise. The inverted row. Now, before I show you how to do it, I want to tell you about something that's helped a lot of guys in your situation. If you're dealing with chronic back pain, shoulders that round forward no matter how much you stretch them, posture that's slowly getting worse every year, or that constant sense that your body just doesn't hold itself the way it used to, you're not stuck with it, and you don't need a gym to fix it. I built a 30-day program called Reboot Your Body, and it's specifically designed to take you from where you are right now and walk you step by step through a complete plan that rebuilds your posture, restores the strength of your upper back, and eliminates the aches that have been following you around for years. Imagine standing taller without trying. Imagine reaching overhead without that shoulder catch. Imagine waking up without that knot between your shoulder blades. The link is in the description below if you want to check it out. The principles in this video are the foundation. The program is the daily plan that takes you all the way through. Back to the inverted row. Here's how. Find something sturdy you can lay underneath and hold onto. A heavy table works. A door that's been propped open with a chair on each side works. A solid bed frame with a horizontal bar at the right height. Lay on your back underneath it. Reach up and grab the underside with both hands, palms facing you, arms shoulder width apart. Your body should be straight from your shoulders to your heels, with only your heels touching the floor. Now pull your chest up to the bar. Pull your shoulder blades together at the top like you're trying to crush a pencil between them. Hold for 1 second. Slowly lower yourself back down. That's 1 rep, 8 to 12 reps the first time. The mistakes are predictable. The biggest one is letting the hips sag, which takes the work off the upper back and dumps it onto the lower back. Squeeze your glutes and abs the whole time, body straight, hips up. The second mistake is shrugging the shoulders to fake the rep instead of pulling with the back. The cue is to pretend your elbows are weights and you're driving them straight to the floor as you pull up. That fires the lats and the rhomboids the right way. This movement is the antidote to almost everything desk life does to your upper body. Sitting at a desk all day, hunching over a phone, driving a car, your upper back gets weaker, your posture rolls forward, and your shoulders start grinding when you reach overhead. The inverted row reverses all of it. It's the single most important pulling exercise a man without a pull-up bar can do, and prisoners figured this out decades before any physical therapist did. The fourth movement is the Bulgarian split squat. In prison, this is done off a bunk bed. At home, you do it off a chair, and it's the single best leg exercise a man without weights can do. Here's how. Stand about 3 feet in front of a chair, bench, or sturdy raised surface. Reach back with 1 foot and place the top of that foot on the surface behind you. Your front leg should be bent at about a 90-degree angle when you sink into the bottom of the squat. Now slowly lower yourself down by bending the front knee until that front thigh is parallel to the floor. Pause for a second at the bottom, drive back up through the heel of the front foot. That's 1 rep, 8 to 10 reps each leg, slow tempo, 3 seconds down, 1 second pause, 3 seconds up. The mistakes are about balance and depth. People wobble all over the place the first time because the single leg position exposes how weak their stabilizers actually are. That's fine. Hold a wall or a door frame with 1 hand the first few sessions. The other mistake is not going deep enough, which keeps the work in the quads and skips the glutes. Get the back knee close to the floor. The deeper you go, the more the glute and the hip flexor of the back leg get involved. The reason this is such a powerful prison exercise is that it loads 1 leg at a time, which doubles the effective weight on each leg without needing any external load. A man who weighs 180 pounds is putting most of that 180 on a single leg. That's heavier than most people squat with a barbell, and because it's a single leg movement, it forces both sides of your body to work, which fixes the imbalances that come from being right leg or left leg dominant your entire life. After 30 days of these, your legs will be stronger and your hips will be more even than they've been since you were 20. The fifth movement is the Hindu squat, not the slow tempo squat, not the regular bodyweight squat. The Hindu squat, done at speed with a specific arm motion, hundreds of reps at a time. This was the standard cardio plus leg conditioning in prisons for the better part of a century, and it builds something modern fitness has almost completely forgotten: conditioning that lasts. Here's how. Stand with your feet about hip width apart, arms hanging at your sides. Now squat down to a deep position but in a specific way. As you lower, your heels come up off the floor, you stay on the balls of your feet, your butt comes nearly to your heels, your arms swing back behind you as you sink. Then you reverse it. As you rise, your arms swing forward and up to chest level, your heels come back down, and you finish standing tall with your arms extended in front. That's 1 rep. The whole thing should take about 1.5 seconds. You start with 25 reps without stopping. Then you build week by week until you can do 100 straight. The Indian wrestlers used to do 500 a session. Prisoners do similar volume. The mistakes are about the breathing and the rhythm. Exhale on the way down, inhale on the way up, match it to the rhythm. After 50 reps, your heart rate is at its peak, your legs are on fire, and you're getting the kind of conditioning that running on a treadmill cannot match. If your knees or ankles can't handle the heel rise the first few weeks, that's fine. Keep your heels down for now and treat it like a fast bodyweight squat. As your ankles regain mobility, the heel rise comes naturally, and that's when the full benefit kicks in. This movement does 2 things at once. It builds leg endurance, and it teaches your hips and ankles to articulate through a full range of motion, which they've forgotten how to do if you spend most of your day sitting. The Hindu squat is the single most underused conditioning exercise in fitness, and it's the closest thing a man without a treadmill or a bike can do to replicate sport-level cardiovascular work. So here's how you put all 5 together. Start with the Hindu push-up. 3 rounds of 10 reps with a minute of rest between each round. Then move to the pike push-up. 3 rounds of 8 reps, same rest. Then the inverted row. 3 rounds of 10 reps. From there, the Bulgarian split squat, 3 rounds of 8 reps each leg, and finish with the Hindu squat. 1 round, all out, as many reps as you can in 2 minutes. The whole workout takes about 25 minutes, 3 times a week, every other day for 30 days. By the end of that month, your upper body will be stronger, your back will be straighter, your hips will be more mobile, and your conditioning will be better than it's been in years. All in your living room, all without weights, all without a gym membership. That's what a man who lost 23 years of his life figured out. He didn't have anything else to do, so he learned how to build a body using nothing but the constraints of a tiny room and the discipline to show up to it every single day. The lesson isn't that prison makes you strong. The lesson is that having less forces you to use what you have better. Most men with full gym access never reach the level of strength a determined man can build in a 6x8 cell. If you want a complete day-by-day plan that takes the guesswork out of all of this and walks you through a full 30-day rebuild, head over to the link in the description and grab Reboot Your Body. The 5 movements in this video are the foundation. The program is what gets you all the way to the finish line. And if this video helped you, hit subscribe so the next one shows up in your feed. Now drop down, Hindu push-up. The clock starts now.